Taylor Swift reveals a past eating disorder.
Ooh, Tana Mongeau involved in terrifying gun incident.
And while Billie Eilish thought she'd never see 17.
Oh man, all that and more on today's Daily Hollywood Rundown. Hey everyone, Sussan Morad here for today's Daily Hollywood Rundown.
You actually look really happy today for a group of stories that are very, very sad and somber today.
We were just saying that, you guys. We're really sorry. A lot of today's news stories aren't, our usual. There is actually, we're doing You're So Clever, so that is definitely a little bit of a light-hearted moment.
Fun beat at the end.
And some fun beats in our final rundown. But as you just heard from our cold open, they are pretty somber stories today.
Pretty serious stuff. And you're going to kick us off with some Billie Eilish news?
Yes, but before we do that, you guys, hit that subscribe button.
Oh yeah,
hit the bell and leave comments.
Why not? It's free.
Yeah. But yeah, Billie Eilish. When it comes to letting fans in on her life, Billie Eilish is basically an open book. And in a new interview, she reveals how her lyrics have helped her overcome battles with depression and even thoughts of suicide. Now, before we get into this story, just wanted to give a trigger warning, you guys, because some of the things we share from Billie's interview are pretty intense. During an interview with Gayle King as part of the Gayle King Grammy special that aired last night, the two spent an entire day together where Billie was able to give Gayle an inside look into her day-to-day life. In the interview, Billie tackled some pretty heavy topics, saying that she used to self-harm so much so that she even believed she wouldn't live to see her 17th birthday. She said, quote, "I didn't ever think I would be happy again, ever. I don't want to be too dark, but I genuinely didn't think I would make it to 17. After hearing what Billie just admitted, Gayle asked, "You didn't think you'd make it to 17, but did you think that you would do something to yourself?" King mentioned during the special that Billie's newfound fame was likely a contributing factor that also comes with pressure and isolation, to which she fell into deep clinical depression. Billie responded with a simple, "Yeah." She then recalled a specific time she struggled with thoughts of suicide while staying in an empty hotel room in Berlin. And you guys, I'm just going to warn you again, this does get pretty heavy. So she said, "I remember there was a window right there, and I remember crying because I was thinking about how the way that I was going to die I was going to do it." Throughout most of last year, Billie mentioned that she felt so unhappy and was completely joyless. Thankfully though, you guys, she credits the power of music, more specifically her song lyrics, that have gotten her through such a tough time. Billie has been able to use her platform to actually connect with fans who also struggle with depression and self-harm, and filled Gayle in on some of their deepest conversations.
I just grab them by the shoulders and I'm like, please take care of yourself and be good to yourself and be nice to yourself. Don't take that extra step and hurt yourself further than you can't take it back.
Okay, that was a lot, you guys, but we do know that Billie is in a much better place now. She has said that on multiple occasions, and I think the fact that she is able to open up on how she was feeling in the past shows she's come such a long way and is in a really great position now. It's really hard hearing all of that, isn't it?
I know, but I'm actually kind of glad that celebrities are talking about some of the heavy, hard stuff, because there are a lot of celebrities who won't go that deep and won't go that real, and so many of her fans are teenagers. We all know that depression is rampant in teenagers now, and I think it really is a really good example to show young people, hey, you may have these thoughts, I had these thoughts, but you don't have to act on them, and you can come out the other side. So as much as it's hard to hear, it's just oh man, that's so heavy.
So heavy.
I do think it's good that she's being honest with her fans about what she's been through.
Absolutely.
Well, Tana Mongeau was tweeting about this incident that happened between her and an Airbnb owner, and a gun was involved, and we're gonna break that down for you. So Tana was heading to Vegas and was teasing on her socials about her big announcement today. However, Tana found herself in a terrifying predicament while gearing up for her announcement. She took to Twitter in a series of tweets where she first shared, quote, "Dude, my Airbnb owner just pulled a gun on us." As you can imagine, fans were in the comments saying things like, "What the hell, are you guys okay? And why? And stay safe. Also, I predict story times in your future." Airbnb were also there in the comments saying they wanted Tana to DM them so that they can investigate. Tana then shared more details about her terrifying ordeal, saying, quote, "Nothing like a good gun pulled on you to remind you the fragility of life. This really would only happen to me. Gotta love going to Vegas for a few hours." I mean, that sounds pretty terrifying, and we don't know all the specifics around what actually happened, but we're glad that Tana is okay. She also shared this video clip to her IG stories after the gun incident.
What's up, guys? Just lived through our Airbnb owner pulling a gun on us. MTV captured it all. Love my luck. I'm already in surgery in the morning. Love my luck. Releasing something super big tomorrow. Super happy I'm alive for it.
And like we said, we're really happy that she's okay and looks like MTV caught it all on camera. Tana also shared a few more tweets about it and lightened the mood. She responded to Keemstar's tweet where he said, "Story time YouTubers be like," in response to her first tweet about the gun being pulled on her by saying, "Reality stars love peeps season 2 of my show XO Glad I Lived XOXO." Tana also retweeted a screenshot from Amari, who was with her for the whole ordeal, that said, "I'm trying to find out if we can sue him for mental distress, LOL," before tweeting, "This is the worst day ever. I'm starting over tomorrow." Over on Instagram, Tana shared some final thoughts and how she wasn't going to let the incident take away from her important announcement today. She posted her stories saying, quote, "Tonight was weird, but tomorrow is a very different day. I've worked too hard on something I'm so proud of and refuse to let the devil take that from me. I don't know, I feel weird though. I'll see you tomorrow. I love you guys and this life so much. Thank you as always. Remember, this is all too fragile to take for granted." This is crazy. I wish we had more details.
Yes.
It's almost like you can't really tease something like this and not tell us like how it went down, like what happened. Did they not expect you? Did you show up unannounced? Like what happened?
I just can't think of how terrifying it would be to, and like we said, we don't know all the details yet.
Yeah.
I think they will be, it's obviously developing. I think we're going to get more details from Tana, that's for sure. But just the thought of her going to check into an Airbnb and the owner is there and a gun is involved.
Can you imagine?
Like,
oh my gosh.
We're glad Tana's okay. That's the main thing.
And I'm also glad Airbnb is getting involved in trying to rectify the situation behind the scenes, because that's what they should be doing.
All right, like I teased earlier, this has been a really heavy episode so far. There's still some more heavy news later on after the jump, but now we've got You're So Clever.
I needed this emotional
Because we
break.
need a moment to breathe and
it.
smile.
I needed it.
Me too, I definitely needed it, where we highlight some of your funny and our favorite comments from the week. And we're gonna kick it off right now with our very first comment. So this was in relation to Drew's comment yesterday about people having too much time on their hands to check celebrities, and who they unfollow. This person said, "To be fair, stalking could be considered a hobby." Totally agree.
I've been looking for a new hobby in 2020, and now I don't have to look any further.
I feel like we're all kind of stalkers already, right? When it comes to celebs, a little bit.
Or just our real lives.
Yeah. And on the Harry Styles lookalike working at Starbucks, a lot of you didn't really think he looked like Harry Styles and basically said things like Billy, who said, "He looks more like Dylan O'Brien just with one of Harry's old hairstyles." And also Lydia said they should definitely not share the Starbucks location. That's kind of creepy. He may not be okay with it, just saying. And of course, that's because we were saying, what Starbucks is this? This was a story where there was somebody that went
I saw
viral
it.
looking like Harry Styles. Did you think he looked like Harry?
Oh my gosh, yes. I actually thought Harry was doing like some bit for James Corden
Oh,
or something.
totally.
But if this guy's not an actor, he should be after this. This is his like, damn Daniel moment of fame,
And also Avery Miller, who said, "Yo, quick question. I know you probably aren't allowed to say, but who is your favorite couple, real or rumored, of 2020 so far? I'm still dreaming for Tom Daya." I was like, ooh, we are allowed to say. I think we're allowed to say, of course.
Oh, I'm definitely,
Yeah.
I'm gonna say. And
But
it's,
2020 so far.
you have to think about it. Brad Pitt and Jennifer Aniston, come
Oh,
on.
you know what? Girl, yes.
I live for that.
Yes, I live for that. But I was also thinking of Tom Daya, I also thought about Jacob Elordi and Zendaya, and that was like last year though. That's so old
Triangle
news.
you're creating.
I know,
over
that
here.
was so last year though, but yeah, I'm excited. We're only in January and so much has already happened.
All right, now that we've taken a big breath, we can dive back into this Taylor Swift story. She premiered her documentary at Sundance, and she's talking a lot about her personal life and even an eating disorder that she went through. So last night, Taylor Swift's Miss Americana documentary premiered at the Sundance Film Festival. In the documentary that premiered, Taylor revealed that she used to, quote, starve herself after seeing paparazzi photos she didn't like of herself. E! reports that in the film, Taylor is seen being swarmed by a sea of photographers as she leaves her apartment, And we hear Taylor's voiceover saying, "It's not good for me to see pictures of myself every day." Taylor then shared how seeing unflattering photos of herself triggered her, saying, "It's only happened a few times and I'm not in any way proud of it." She admitted that in the past she has seen, quote, "a picture of me where I feel like I looked like my tummy was too big, or someone said that I looked pregnant, and that'll just trigger me to starve a little bit. Just stop eating." It's a lot, you guys. Taylor also did a Variety cover story that was released last night, timed to the premiere, where she elaborated further and said, quote, "My relationship with food was exactly the same psychology that I applied to everything else in my life. If I was given a pat on the head, I registered that as good. If I was given a punishment, I registered that as bad." It's quite upsetting to hear all of this coming from Taylor, but we're glad she's able to open up and talk about her past struggles. Taylor continued saying, "I remember how when I was 18, that was the first time I was on the cover of a magazine, and the headline was like, 'Pregnant at 18'. It was because I'd worn something that made my lower stomach look not flat. So I just registered that as punishment. And then I walked into a photo shoot and be in the dressing room, and somebody who worked at a magazine would say, 'Oh wow, this is so amazing that you can fit into the sample sizes. Usually we have to make alterations to the dresses, but we can take them right off the runway and put them on you.' And I looked at that as a pat on the head. You register that enough times and you just start to accommodate everything towards praise and punishment, including your own body." There was so much more insight she shared in the interview, so you can check it out on Variety, but she also said, quote, "I think I've never really wanted to talk about that before, and I'm pretty uncomfortable talking about it now, but in the context of every other thing that I was doing or not doing in my life, I think it makes sense to have it in the film." This is really interesting that she's talking about this, because I've always wondered what it would be like to be Taylor Swift. And, you know, I remember there was at one point she was like curvy on tour and she looked amazing, and people were like, "Oh, she's getting a little curvy." And I wanted to just slap that person on the face and be like, she looks amazing. She looks like a healthy human being. But I've always wondered what it's like. Does she get those comments on the other side? Does she read the comments in the descriptions? Like, is she watching videos like this where we talk about it? And so I think it's really empowering to take your power back by talking about the things that you go through. And I think that I'm just really glad that she's talking about it.
I'm really glad she's talking about it. I think I was surprised to hear about this.
Yeah.
I didn't know that she was going through this. She also mentioned the other side of the coin, where people were saying she's too skinny, and that also had an impact on her as well.
Sure.
So it's actually really sad to know she was going through that, but it's so good to know that she's overcome it. And I think by her talking about it, like we mentioned with the Billie story,
Proof that she is coming out of it.
She's coming out of it. She's come out of it, and other people are able to be helped by what
Yeah.
she's got to say.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, we're sorry. We know there was a lot there to take in. That was really, really upsetting in many ways, as well as intense. But now it's time for the final rundown, where we can smile a little bit.
We're pivoting. We gotta
we're gonna pivot. We're gonna switch gears for the next part of the show. Kicking it off, more Billie Eilish news. Oh no, guys, wait, stop, hold on. Now, kicking it off with more Billie Eilish news. Everything I Wanted music video is everything we wanted. That's right, the video was #1 trending on YouTube, and we are loving it. Billie self-directed the new video and dedicates the clip to her brother Phineas, who makes an endearing appearance as he sits in the passenger seat as her ride or die as they drive through the night and then into the dark ocean. Billie also has the sweetest message in the opening scene, saying, "Phineas is my brother and my best friend. No matter the circumstances, we always have and always will be there for each other." I love these two. Love these two.
It's a very artistic video. She actually directed it herself, which is cool. Okay, we have to talk about Julianne Hough. I don't know if you know who Julianne Hough is, but you will after this moment right here. I don't know if you saw it was trending yesterday. Julianne Hough apparently received some kind of energy healing treatment in Switzerland and left us all with just many, many questions in our mind. What is happening? What did we just watch? So she was helping a chiropractor and body worker who's called John Amaral, and he was demonstrating, quote, somatic energy healing in the video, and it basically broke the internet, and all everyone is talking about is this.
Freedom. Expression of emotion may happen when the system moves.
And you guessed it, the comments were wild. One person said, "Gonna tell my kids this is The Exorcist." And is he pulling the demonic spirit out of her booty? So many questions. Calling a priest.
Oh man,
you know,
so many questions.
Someone told me to watch it. Someone told me to watch it with the volume up, which I think was an interesting experience. But watching it without the volume on is also an even more interesting.
Yep.
You know what? There's something out there for everybody.
Yep, that's the way of putting it.
You know, people used to think acupuncture was crazy. So maybe in like 10 years, everybody, your mama, your sister, and your friends and brothers, they're going to be doing this somatic energy healing through the butthole treatment or whatever it is.
Yeah, I'll come back to you on that one. That is it for today's episode of the Daily Hollywood Rundown, you guys. But before you go anywhere, Erin, I'm sure you have some questions.
I have a lot of questions. I don't know if we have enough time to answer them here today, but I do want to know if you guys have heard an update. I know we shoot this in the morning. If you've heard an update on the Tana Mongeau story, like what actually went down, let us know in the comments section so that people who are watching can actually get the info as it happens.
Yeah, definitely want to know more about that. And also, what are your thoughts on that Julianne Hough video? Whether or not you knew who she was before today's episode, what on earth is going on? Is it something that you could even entertain? For me, it's a little too much. Maybe, like you said, maybe in the future this will be normal, but I kind of doubt it. But let me know what your thoughts are on that clip. Or even leave us like, you know when you say caption this, that video.
Yeah, I have some captions that are not PG for this video.
And also make sure you tune into Celebrity Lowdown tomorrow, of course, on Saturdays. And we'll see you guys soon.
The Grammys are this week.
Oh yeah, and Grammys coverage.
Subscribe so you don't miss all the Grammy coverage.
Hold on before you go anywhere. I know the weekend's just around the corner, but you want to catch up on yesterday's episode of DHR. It's right here. It's really good.
Yeah, and don't forget to subscribe. Remember, the Grammys are this weekend. You don't want to miss every single update. We've got you covered.